Amaretto, where I'm hopefully going to be talking to lots of interesting individuals and hearing more about their story. And today I'm in Birmingham at the Space, talking to Bishamber, who's the first plus-size British Asian model. So firstly, thank you for coming, Bishamber.
Welcome. Thank you.
So, modelling, how did it all happen for you?
Modelling happened for me about 2 years ago. I participated in a beauty pageant called Miss India Europe. I remember going to the audition and absolutely crapping myself because it's like really slim, tall, beautiful, gorgeous girls there who clearly weren't models.
Yeah.
How we perceive them to be. And basically I was the only size 18 woman there. So I decided, I actually remember thinking in the audition, should I go ahead or shall I leg it, because surely no one sees me. But I decided I was going to give it a go, and I came as second runner-up for the United Kingdom, which meant that I would have to then go to Barcelona and represent the UK against 9 other European countries, where I didn't win the title as such, but I walked away with Miss Photogenic, which was a massive achievement in itself.
That is, like, before you even thought, okay, modelling, I want to give this a shot, sort of, you know, you were a normal average girl, so what was your life before modelling? Like, how before you did anything?
Life before modelling, if I take it back to right to the beginning, I come from an Indian and Malaysian heritage. So my mum's from India, my dad was from Malaysia, that's where he was born and brought up. And I kind of grew, I don't shy away from this, I grew up in a family where there was a lot of difficulties, when my dad was an alcoholic, there was a lot of domestic violence. I'm the oldest of 4 siblings, so I bared quite a lot of it, if that makes sense, the brunt of it. And it really affected me because when you get to an age as a teenager, you kind of like, I felt I couldn't turn to anything to release my stresses as such. I couldn't turn to drugs, I couldn't turn to alcohol because I didn't want to let my mum down from what she was already experiencing with my dad. And the only place where I felt safe and in control was by abusing my relationship with food. And then subsequently I gained a lot of weight. I remember I was only 25 years old and I was like nearly 21 stone, 22 stone. So I gained a lot of weight. I started to feel the health impacts that it had on me and I reduced my weight. But apart from that, you know, people automatically in our communities think when you're a bigger girl that you're not beautiful or you're not worthy of anything, and that always used to really, really get to me. I remember going to like the Sikh temple and women would say, like, you're very beautiful, but you're really fat, who's going to marry you? And I always felt that I was never worthy of being loved, and I grew up with that feeling and it's the worst thing in the whole world. So I thought, oh, you know what, I'm going to challenge this perception, and that's when I sort of entered modelling. But I think the thing that annoys me the most is people make that judgment by just looking at my outer exterior.
Yeah.
They didn't know I was the first youngest British Asian bloody magistrate going. They didn't know that
Wait, hold on. You've got the first youngest
Asian magistrate in the country. So I was appointed at 21 years old by Jack Straw, when he was the Home Secretary at the time. I've got a law degree, academically I'm very bright, I had everything going for me, but just because somebody would look at my outer exterior and they think that I'm not worthy of anything, and that just didn't sit right with me.
So when, you know, a lot in our Asian communities, you know, it's quite face value. People don't know the stories behind, you know, our situations and different circumstances. So how did you deal with sort of people's first impressions and, you know, and let's face it, people in our community are quite, they'll just say it to your face, judgmental, yeah. So how did you deal with that when people are sort of saying this to your face and in those situations?
It was really hard for me to deal with it. It's only up until quite recently now that I'm learning to actually really cope with, you know, negative criticism. Back then was a totally different story. I felt like I was in a cycle, I was trapped. So when somebody would say to me, like for example, my mum would say, you're too fat, you need to lose weight. And she thinks that she's helping me, but realistically she's not, because that would push me to want to go and eat more, because that's the only way I could regulate my emotions. So I was like in this cycle constantly going round and round in circles. So they would say something negative, I would eat more, I'd gain more weight. And it's really hard to break that cycle, and I think people from our community or the older generation as such really don't understand how much of an impact that can have psychologically on your emotional health.
From your experience, obviously casting an eye back on what's happened, is there any advice that you could give to people or about going through this, or like how you would have dealt with it?
I always think if I had a child who was in the same situation as myself, I'd try and understand why is this person doing what they're doing. And I think we need to get to the root of the problem and try and eliminate whatever it is that is the cause. And I think if I was a parent, I would help my child to make healthier choices in regards to their food in a more constructive way. Instead of saying, oh my God, what you're doing is disgusting, no one's going to marry you, you're fat, you're ugly, because what you're doing, you're putting that child down more than anything, which is just going to make them want to eat more and more. And I don't think our generation well, not our generation, the older generation get that.
So you touched on marriage there. That's obviously
Yeah.
something that's, affected the way people are thinking and talking about you as a person. Are you still receiving these kinds of comments? And, what do you think people can move on from doing this?
I think I'm just genuine, really unlucky enough, if that makes sense. I am like the Asian Bridget Jones, but hey, I do believe, and I always have believed, even when I was 14 years old going through my struggles, is that somebody will love me for who I am regardless. And my mum always used to say to me, lose weight and you'll find a husband. And my argument all the time would be to her is, if he's going to love me for what I look like because I'm slimmer, then he's not worthy of me. At least if someone's going to accept me now for how I am, I know that he's actually going to hold my hand all the way to the end, if that makes sense.
Change.
Yeah, there's no expectation that I would have to change as such physically.
You talked about sort of the past and how things had affected you, but now you are really successful. You won the Plus Size Awards as the first British Asian to win the Plus Size Awards. You've been featured in countless magazines. Tell us a bit about that and the positive side of things, what you're doing, what you're standing for.
I think, if I'm really honest with you, Amrit, when I first started off, I had no idea where I was going. I had no idea what... I knew I had a vision, and I knew that I wanted to make change, and I didn't know how to go about it. I have never been in the limelight before in that sense. I don't have anybody in my family who could have guided me. In such a short period of time, and a lot of people in the industry always say, wow, you've done so well in that sense for what I've achieved. I find myself so blessed that I'm in this position. And I think what makes it even more special is when you know that you've worked your backside off for it and you've achieved that all off your own back. I've got no one telling me strategically how I should be aiming and going in what direction. It's only recently now I've been signed to an agency. I was the one who was getting in contact with different organisations saying, hey, feature me, I'd like to do this, as well as holding down 2 jobs and doing this on the weekend. So
you still have those jobs?
and I still do that now. So I'm still a magistrate and I'm still working in child protection for the local authority, and I still hold down a modelling career that takes me all over the world. So
how do you manage that, running these jobs and being a model that's travelling everywhere?
With difficulty, not going to lie to you, but when you're so passionate about something, you make time for it. And people who say, oh, how do you do it? It will happen. I will make it happen. But the fact is, how you touched upon the Asian Awards. I love that. I couldn't believe, not the Asian Awards, sorry, you touched upon
being the first Asian to win the Plus Size
the
Awards.
Plus Size Awards.
Yeah.
That was absolutely amazing. I mean, I was up against the likes of Tess Holliday, who's like the world's first supermodel for the plus size industry. And then I was up against Hayley Hasselhoff, who's obviously legendary Hollywood actor David Hasselhoff's daughter. And here's me, your average girl who's born and brought up in Derby, only in the game for 2 years, and I walk away with that award. It's amazing.
How do you think this has all happened to you? What can you pin it down to? I mean, you're a normal girl who had normal jobs. Okay, I wouldn't say normal being the first British Asian magistrate. That's amazing at such a young age. But how have you made all of this happen for you? Like you said, you've never pushed yourself and had a PR company behind you telling you to do this. It's been completely you. And, that takes someone to have a really strong mind. So what is it that you've pinned down to making that happen?
Again, I know this sounds stupid. If someone says to me, in 5 years' time, where do you see yourself? I literally don't know where I will see myself. And I'm not just saying that. It's because even when I started off, I didn't know where it was going. I just think it's just happened, if that makes sense. And I just feel so blessed that I am in this position, but it's it happened. I'm just embracing it. I knew that I wanted to make change. I'm making that change. I'm going to keep going. I just want to show real diversity to the world, and so be it. I want other girls, which now is happening, who are Asians, females coming forward and saying, we want to be plus size models as well. I'm like, yeah, girl, go for it.
Do you have any advice for girls out there, especially from the Asian community, that perhaps, on the bigger side and, face all these negative comments from a lot of people? What would you say to these girls?
I would just say to the girls is, believe in yourself. We are always told how we should dress, we're always told how we should look, we're always told how we should conduct ourselves. Literally do something for yourself for a change rather than please everybody else. We shouldn't put our happiness and give the key to someone else, to be in control of that, be in control of it yourself. And definitely all you need to do is get yourself a portfolio going, because that's how I started off. You know, people would always say, well, how have you done it? Well, realistically, how I've done it is I managed to get in contact with some friends of mine who are photographers, and I just said, right, I've got this vision in my head, I want that picture. You make me that picture. And that's what I did. I just started posting pictures of myself. And we've got social media, which is so powerful. You know, why not use that to your advantage? And today I stand with nearly over 70,000 followers around the world on various social media platforms.
Glad that you've touched on social media, because it's definitely something that is, it's just a new revelation.
Definitely.
And you are very active on your social media. When you first put out sort of your images on social media and getting photographers to take pictures of you, what kind of feedback were you getting? Because it's a very, at the time, very cutthroat industry, and you know, a lot of people may not have seen, like you said, an Asian plus size model. So what's going on there?
I felt that I was celebrated and accepted in the western side of the world, if that makes sense, especially from people in the United Kingdom, America, Canada. But because I've got a big fan following from the Punjab and India in particularly, they had never seen anything like it, and I used to get some disgusting comments. I would get, till this day actually it still happens, I get compared to a hippo, I'd get emojis of elephants put up, I'd get emojis of trucks, and they're basically trying to say that's what I am. And that really, really used to get to me, and it's taken me about 6 months in the beginning of my career to get over that negativity and learn how to cope with that. But it was never easy. But I think the one thing that kind of saved grace when I look at things on their side is that they laughed at me and said, who is this fat girl? Because I would lip sync and make different videos. That's just me. I don't care. If you want to watch them, you watch them. You don't want to watch them, turn over. I don't care. And they obviously were enticed by that. They would watch it and they would laugh at me.
I remember seeing a video of you doing Diljit's Ishikaza hair. How did that come about? Was it your idea? How did you collaborate with that person?
Basically, I loved the song when I heard it.
Yeah.
It's like the fab song. And you know what the best thing about it is? You know, when I was saying to you, if you want to go out there and achieve something, you go and do it. I'm the type of person where I don't wait for opportunities to come to me. I create them myself. Of course I know no one's going to say to me, Bishamber, you're a plus size model, come in my video, because that's not the norm amongst our Asian scene at the minute. No one ever cast me for a film. I've been given 3 separate offers in the past for Punjabi movies, and the conditions have always been, we'll give you 3 months, lose your weight. No, I don't want to do that. If I was greedy for that and that's what I wanted, of course I would do it. But I'm not. I'm so successful in everything that I'm doing and so settled here that a film means nothing to me. But I decided that I did want to show a plus size woman in a more positive light, and then I just got my team together and said, right guys, I love this song, I want to make a video to it, and so I did. And the best thing about it was, which I won't forget, we all decided that we were going to release the song at 9 o'clock one morning, all of us together, the whole team, and I woke up and I checked my Instagram and it had gone mental. I have no idea how that video leaked, and Diljit Dosanjh himself actually shared it on his Instagram.
I remember seeing it. It was brilliant.
And I just thought to myself, bloody hell, you really, the main man himself sharing it, so must have done something right.
You clearly are doing something right, and I'm very lucky to be sat here in this room with you. Thank you so much for coming.
No, thank you for having me.
Now, before we let you go, Bishamber, I've got a quick fire round. I just want to fire some questions at you to get your answers.
Okay.
Here goes. So what one piece of makeup could you not live without?
Eyebrow pencil.
Yeah, that's one thing
That's
I
for
actually...
everyone.
Eyebrows and eyeliner,
Yeah.
definitely. Okay, chocolate or vanilla?
Oh, chocolate.
Vanilla.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh.
sorry. We're not going for ice cream after this, because you're obviously going to get the horrible flavour. What's your perfect idea of a date?
Nice, yummy food. Being a plus size model, I've got a plus size figure to maintain.
What's your favourite food?
Oh, love northern Indian food, Punjabi obviously, but I love Greek food. I'm vegetarian,
Okay.
so quite restricted to what I can have, but I love Greek food.
Nice. Kevin Hart or Paul Chowdhury?
Kevin Hart.
Who was your cartoon crush? Everyone had a cartoon crush.
Oh, really?
Mine was John Smith from Pocahontas.
Is that really bad that I haven't had one?
It's probably good. I'm obviously a sad person.
Probably.
Okay. City break or beach holiday?
50-50.
Okay, which city would it be then?
I just recently came back from Rome, and I love it. I love places with like great architecture. I'm not the type of person who can just sit on a beach. I find it so boring.
You need a bit of both, 50-50. What is your most embarrassing thing to happen to you recently?
Most embarrassing? Nothing yet, but I tell you what, something that I absolutely die thinking of. I do a lot of ramp walking for catwalks. I would die if I ever fell. And I can't walk in heels, even kitten heels, I can't walk in them. I'm
So how do you manage?
with great difficulty.
Is it a lot of practice?
A lot of practice. I can't walk in heels. I actually look like I can't walk.
So Snapchat or Instagram? We know that you're a massive fan of social media, as am I. But if you had to choose Snapchat or Instagram?
Oh God, that is so hard. I probably post more on Snapchat than I do on Instagram, so probably Snapchat. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry,
it's my
Instagram.
favourite too. Bye bye. What's your feel-good song?
Oh, I'm a bit of a Bollywood freak. I'm not even gonna lie. Literally, I listen to all sorts of music from all. Right now, my current obsession is Arabic music.
Ooh.
So yeah, I don't understand a word they're saying, but yeah, I just love it. I just start dancing around like I'm married.
And last but not least, if you had to choose between good hair or good makeup, which one would it be?
Good makeup all day long.
And if you'd just like to say one last message to your fans and all the girls out there from Bishamber.
I would say to all the lovely ladies and men out there is just be in control of your own feelings in terms of what you want. Our happiness is not in someone else's pocket. Try and make things happen yourself. We don't have to wait for someone to give us an opportunity. I am an example of that. I have created my own opportunities and I've made a success out of it, and so can you.